Today, I'm back to announce our action plan to battle COVID-19 this winter. Not that any of us are surprised any of you, because it's the combined advice from all of you that we developed this plan. And it doesn't include shutdowns or lockdowns, but widespread vaccinations and boosters and testing and a lot more.
That was President Biden on Thursday, revealing his plan to fight back against the Omicron and Delta variants. But as cases continue to spread across the country, medical experts are insisting there's no reason to panic, citing early data that suggests its symptoms are milder than Delta. Here to react is Director for the Independent Women's Forum, Patrice Lee-Onwuka, and Democratic strategist and legal analyst Kelly Hyman. Hello to both of you. Thank you so much for being here. Patrice, I'll begin with you on your response to the Biden administration's response to this latest variant and its plan.
Well, hello. And, I think this is honestly a little bit of an overreaction. It's still very early. We do not know a whole lot about Omicron. This is, I think the Biden administration and President Biden wants to look like he's being, aggressive, handling the coronavirus, handling this new strain, doing as much as possible as early as possible, and at the same time, not very much is being done at the border, where we actually do understand individuals who are not vaccinated, who we don't have any idea what their health statuses are coming in. So, I think if he wants to, really be strong, let's start at the southern border, and then let's also allow the science to lead what kind of actions the federal government should be taking from that point forward.
And Kelly, Patrice went on two different points there. And I want to begin first with her point that there's a bit of an overreaction here, especially when you consider that we don't have all the data. Your response?
I think it's important to follow the science and follow what the CDC says. We have to remember the CDC came out and said that people are unvaccinated have 10 more times likely to be in a hospital because of COVID and 11 times more likely to die because of COVID. We have 60 million Americans that are not vaccinated. So it's important to go with the science and talk to your doctor and get vaccinated and get your booster, because that has shown to help with COVID.
And with regard to the travel restrictions and the travel ban implemented by the Biden administration, that's for people coming over here on a plane, crossing our border on a plane. But what about the southern border and the concerns there? As we do know, Dr. Fauci has said that this is a different situation. But is it? And to Kelly, that's to you.
I think, as I said before, I think it's important to get everyone vaccinated. It's from my understanding that people are getting vaccinated at the southern border. I haven't been to the southern border, but that is my understanding as well. But I think it's important for the 60 million Americans to get vaccinated, and that's key. That's the way we're going to reduce the virus. That's important for all of us. We're all in this together. We have to remember that. That's why people wear masks and social distance to protect other people and get vaccinated. Of course, I know there are exceptions because of health concerns, and it's a personal choice, but I think it's important to follow the science.
I want to switch gears here now. We have another topic. And Patrice, I would love to get your response. However, I also want to get your response to this, because this week, the Loudoun County School Board, for the first time in 5 months, allowed parents and the public into their meetings. Here's just a sample.
Up is not down, left is not right, and everyone is fed up with lies and gaslighting.
We, the people, are back. The election that you claimed was our motivation is over, and we are still here. It is time for accountability.
We have put aside our differences of opinion to yield and to rally around this one imperative: you may not harm our children.
Patrice, it's been 5 months, but they still sound really upset.
Oh, they should be. Parents are 100% absolutely right to be standing up and voicing their concerns over what is being taught in their schools, the kind of materials that they're finding in their libraries that are not helpful to students, that are not moving us forward from a racial standpoint or any other standpoint. I mean, I think what's been great is to see that parents are finally recognizing, the indoctrination that's occurring and the kind of ideas that are being passed down to our children from the K-12 level, is unacceptable. We can teach things about race and slavery and how far we've come in this country, but do so without trying to diminish or demean one type of race over another. We can also have materials that are showing different perspectives and different experiences, but not have have materials that are that frankly are pedophilia in our schools. And I think that's what we're seeing in Loudoun County, where parents are grassroots, energized, coming together, speaking up, and fighting back.
And Kelly, you know, it's not just Loudoun County. We do know that the November election, the 1776 Project PAC, focused on electing GOP candidates to school boards. They were successful in a number of states, including Pennsylvania and Colorado. Is this a message that parents are sending to school boards, that it's time to listen to them instead of politics?
We should always listen to the parents. Those are key. We should also listen to the teachers. And we have to remember the head of the teachers union came out and said that critical race theory is not taught in kindergarten through 12th grade. I think that's key to remember that. And that's not taught in the schools as well. I took critical race theory in law school because the premise of critical race theory is from a theological law perspective, to look at the law from a race-based perspective. And it's more of just a critical race thought of the process of the law and how it affects different races.
Patrice, but what I heard from the parents there is, even though they're expressing their voice, they're still not being heard.
Well, yeah, because I think a lot of these school boards are instituting, tactics that are used to silence the parents, whether it's, cutting the mics by accident or sending people to follow them, enlisting the federal government. Let's not forget the Justice Department has been enlisted to follow, to track, to even, surveil and treat parents as terrorists. This is not right. It's intended to chill the free speech of parents, but, moms and dads, they care about their kids' education. Oh, and by the way, this idea that critical race theory in that name is not being taught, that's just semantics, because I think the tenets are filtering into the school's curricula through lots of different ways. And it is the tenets. It is the idea that because someone is white, they're an oppressor, and black, they're oppressed. That is wrong. And we should not be perpetrating that kind of information to our kids.
Kelly, I see you shaking your head. However, I am out of time, but I appreciate you both being here today. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe, stay healthy. God bless.
Thank you. Griff.